Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Question: why do we have to sit there and interview Andrea again? I didn't really understand that. I really didn't understand what was the point of having that scene again. I understand that Alexis came over, she had her own questions she wants to sit there and ask, and Molly wants to sit there and give her opinion, get her opinion and everything. But it just seemed like a waste of time, to be honest. It really did. What the hell is Christina just not there stalking around and talking to Willow about how she feels upset that she's not this surrogate? Listen, Christina offered to do a very selfless thing. Okay, and yeah, there's been times she's been very selfish, and I don't want to sit there and say the family screw up, but she's made her fair share of mistakes. But in this instance, she's actually tried to do something right, and she feels like she's being punished or something. And I'm like, boo, your sister's ungrateful. That's the bottom line. You are giving up half a year, damn near a year of your time. God knows whatever body changes that you're going to be sitting there going through during your pregnancy. And in all reality, and somebody said this to me in the comment section, they usually don't recommend first time, person who's being pregnant for the first time to be a surrogate because of how attached you're going to be to the child. So in a lot of ways, Molly is actually giving you an out. And given her attitude, I really think you should take it. Willow wants to go back to work because, let's be honest, she's probably bored to tears. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know she loves her kids. She loves spending time with her husband. But at this point, she's like, yeah, I need to get out this house. I need to start looking at these four walls. So she goes back to, talk to Liz. And Liz is like, you can come back on if you get a note from the doctors and stuff like that saying that you're good. But I'm with it. I'm with it. I get it. Cabin fever is a real thing. You know, this scene with Cody and Sam for the past, we'll sit there and say 2 days of him trying to convince Sam to sit there and commit her. If you just would have fast forward to the end, she agrees. Because of course, Cody's like, hey, if it was like Molly or Christina, would you sit there and do you have to get them out? It's like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Well, Cody, you should probably led with that first. In a lot of ways, I feel like maybe Andrea is I don't know, something about Andrea just seems a little bit too perfect, right? And granted, if you look at her history, she's probably done it before, so I think she's great for the position. But I just feel like it's just too perfect, right? And then she has another backup, which also seems like it's just too good to be true. But I don't know. I don't know how those surrogate things work or whatever, so that could just be the norm. I mean, how do you get two people that's really good and then the third one that's just basuda? Okay, how does that happen? So Sunny, buys Nina a gift to sit there and distract her. Well, two things. One, to sit there and make up for the fact that, she was asking a bunch of questions and she really didn't get the answers that she wanted. So it's like Sunny sat there and just practically just dangled something in her face, like, "Hey, listen, this is shiny. This works for you. Here you go." This ought to sit there and distract you and just kind of keep you quiet for a while. But of course, Nina just couldn't leave well enough alone and was just like, "Oh, I want to sit and know what's going on," and she still wants to know about Sunny's world. And Sunny's like, "I'm doing this for your protection." This is just one of those things where it's like, Nina, you're kind of exhausting. I mean, she does eventually let it go, and they start talking about the wedding that probably like I don't know 5 people are gonna show up for. But it's like, stop asking these questions. There's things you're just not going to know, and that's just how it is. And you need to decide if that's actually gonna sit there and work for you or not. And it's too many times where it's like, so sit to me like, oh, I just, I feel like I'm an outsider. I feel like I'm an employer. It's like, no, you're a mobster's wife. You're a mobster's fiance. You're a mobster girlfriend at this point. That's the life. I listened to it. Was like, you know what? Maybe Goku should be your friend. Goku should be your friend at this point because it just seems so stupid. It's just so exhausting for both of them. Sit there and have this back and forth conversation. It's just really exhausting to sit there and hear Nina be whining and complaining about how she doesn't know this and she wants to know that, and it's like, okay, seems pretty stupid after a while. It really does. Um, Gregory tells Liz about his ALS, because at this point, it's getting to a point where it's just very noticeable. How even Tracy, when Tracy was talking to Finn, they was having conversations about things that they couldn't have conversations about. Even Tracy knew that something was up with Gregory with his hand and everything. So it's just becoming to a point where he has no choice but to sit there and tell that. And the sad thing is that I'm trying to understand. I'm not a parent, but I'm trying to understand where he's coming from as far as having them live a normal life as long as possible. But all that time wasted, all that time wasted. Where it's like if he just would have told them sooner, then they could have had more time to sit there and deal with it. Because now it's getting to a point where it's like it's starting to become a lot worse. You know. So while Finn while Finn and Tracy are sitting there playing backgammon, Brooklyn is just pissed off after getting off the phone and sitting there hearing more stuff about Tracy, and she comes over and she takes that like the board and everything like that and just knocks it on the floor. And at this point, Finn's like, "Yeah, it seems like y'all two got something going on. I'm just gonna be out." And of course, Brooklyn was pissed off at what Tracy's doing to her friends and hurting the company and everything like that. And Tracy's like, "Yo, listen, stole some property. Like this is like she stole the idea of the scepter and stuff like that. So that's on Lucy. And as far as the books and the money and everything like that, again, that's on Lucy. She still didn't sit there and say who she's working with. All she said was that she's working for a company. And GH, whenever they sit there and they do these reveals and stuff like that, it takes a very long, long time. Like a year to 2 years, give or take, before we finally know anything. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but I've learned not to hope so much when it comes to this show. Now, as mad as Brooklyn is about what Tracy Smith did doing to the company and her friends and everything like that, if Lucy somehow did steal the idea of the Deceptor, then that is on her. That is on her. It's the same thing with Carly. Carly going to jail for the insider trading stuff like that. People are annoyed with Nina, right, for reporting it. At the same time, Nina didn't lie. She didn't sit there and make up evidence. That's something that Carly did do. So you can only be so upset with Nina when it comes towards that. And it's the same thing with Lucy. In Brooklyn's case, if she actually did that, um, then that's on her. And again, Tracy was sitting there talking about Luke and his death and everything. And once again, I feel like that just kind of falls on deaf ears. Because, well, obviously the actor is not coming on the show. We didn't sit there and see how he died or anything like that. So it falls flat. It's like for me, it's like I want to feel something. But whenever a character's death is off screen, it doesn't really do anything. The only time it actually does something for me is when we know that the actual actor or an actress actually passed away. That's when it's a little bit different. That's the only time I feel like I can feel anything. Like with Victor's death on Days of Our Lives. But it's like we all know that Luke is alive. So we all know, Anthony, Tony, whatever you want to call him, is alive. So it just doesn't do anything for me. Yep, I think that's actually going to do it. I can't think of anything else that wound up happening, so I think I'm going to sit there and end it here. If I did forget anything, I know I sound like a broken record, but I do want people to sit there and come to the live stream. So come to the live stream, and I'll be sitting here talking about GA, Stays, Wine, Airbnb. Any questions, anything I forgot, anything you want to sit there and ask me, we'll sit there and talk about it. And if you're not a member, definitely become one. Hit the join button. It's a lot of fun. We have conversations that are a lot, they're the same, but they can get to be a lot different on in the member circle only. So that's definitely something you want to sit there and join. Plus, there's exclusive videos that I only do for members that I don't just do for the general public. As you can sit there and say, and just my own personal thoughts about what's going on in my life. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.